sister, something like Shaun of the Dead, and the movie was coming off of Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2, which should have screened here tonight. In fact, Dead Alive was a replacement screening. The 35mm print of Evil Dead 2 was pulled because it's the 25th anniversary of the film, and they are going to be striking a new print, and we will play Evil Dead 2 later on in the year. And that blend, that horror comedy blend that started, it's a very interesting transitional year. It's right around the transition between stalker and slasher films. Those early 80s films are very serious. And then you get into the later half of the 80s and into the 90s, and you get this little horror comedy genre. Is there anything that outdoes this?
No.
Yeah, in terms of gore. Reanimator?
No.
Right? I mean, like, it just builds and builds. I mean, this is up to you then. You young filmmakers who are here, you're being influenced by now Hollywood's greatest filmmakers, Sam Raimi and Peter Jackson, and it's up to you to make, I mean, you're growing up with Cabin in the Woods, which is pretty damn smart, right? And here we've got a genre movie, and it's, what, got like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's somehow a really smart horror film, which supposedly is an oxymoron, and, well, rounding out tonight was going to be a hard one, because how do you really top Dead Alive? You can't. But this movie that we're going to watch tonight is more perfect for the Midnight slot. And The Burning was a huge obscurity all throughout the 90s. Trying to get this on video was impossible, and then if you could, it was an edited down version. Now, what has happened is that there was a new print that was struck of The Burning, and we're going to get to see some Tom Savini special effects. This is a knockoff of the knockoff. Friday the 13th, they made The Burning as a knockoff to the Friday the 13th the year after. And I'm curious if anyone knows who the producers are of The Burning.
Weinsteins.
Right? The Weinstein brothers. Now, this is their very first film. And you think about the Weinstein brothers and how they created Miramax and what they've gone on to. They literally have a movie in movie theaters right now. What is it? Come on down.
It is. Piranha.
Piranha 3 Double D. That is the sequel to Piranha 3D. You get it? 3 Double D. Now, we're getting that here to the Midnites and Maniacs, Matt. Thank you. Please give it up for the Weinstein brothers. So this is hard, right? Because who saw Piranha 3D? It was amazing.
Yeah.
You were stunned. You couldn't believe it. You suddenly found out that who the director was, which... Right? And people who, when the movie came out, they were like, oh, this looks so terrible. Who directed Piranha 2? James Cameron. So here James Cameron comes out when Piranha 3D comes out and says, oh, the 3D looks like crap. It's not real 3D. Is he forgetting where he fucking started? With Piranha 2, the spawning. They have little wings in the second one. Not playing here at Midnites and Maniacs. Now, who directed the first Piranha?
Dante.
Joe Dante, who wrote the script. This is important cinema. Now, Piranha is a knockoff of Jaws. Now, fast forward all the way back up to, in theaters now, Piranha 3 Double D. If you've got some sort of attitude as to why you're not going to go see that movie, it makes no sense. That is what genre cinema is all about. So, as we head into The Burning, we head into the Weinstein, we head into independent cinema. Horror films are often sort of overlooked when we explore independent films. We think of Sundance, we think of Steven Soderbergh. We also need to think about Tom Savini. These are homemade movies. The special effects you saw on Friday the 13th. Nobody had ever seen a throat getting cut like this in America. Sure, you could rent those Italian giallos, and they were really dark, and Suspiria still fucks with your head. But to see that in American cinema, this is that transition. So these early 80s films, which at the time were disrespected, now we're talking about 30 years later, we get a chance to see The Burning. Now, the 35mm print, while it is an original from a while ago, it is also missing a very particular scene from the unrated version. So, what we're going to do, those of you that can actually make it through the end of today's screen, at the end of the credits, we are going to screen that 45-second slaughter. All I'm going to say, have it on DVD, it was not restored on the actual print. You'll get to see the difference of what happens to a 35mm print, which we're going to watch, and then what a digitally restored film will look like. Now, we have 2 events of Midnights and Maniacs coming up. I really would love for you to come on out. Again, it's July 6th is BFF Triple Feature, where you will get to see Heavenly Creatures at midnight, Peter Jackson's other magnum opus, I guess. We have Mean Girls and Clueless, and then in August 3rd, is the 90th anniversary of this majestic theater. Can we give it up for Castro Theater? Our production up here. For all of the movie theater goers that are still keeping it real and you are traveling all across the bay, I mean, when I see you, I feel like I only see like 1/10 of what you're actually watching. It means a lot to me that you support cinema still. I don't know how you're going to get home to the bay tonight, but as an extra treat here before the movie starts, I've tried to put 3 of my favorite stalker knockoff trailers to sort of get you in the mood. Honestly, thank you so much for coming out to Midnights and Maniacs. My name is Jesse Hawthorne Ficks.